Hi, my name is Stephen Gauci and welcome back. In this video I'm going to demonstrate how to practice 13th chords. Okay, please go back and check out the video Introduction to Practicing Chords, where I get into a more detailed and lengthy discussion about some of the topics that we're going to be covering here. Okay, now 13th chords. Okay, so essentially a 13th chord, we're essentially playing every note in the scale but spread out. Okay, so here is a C scale. Okay, here's the C is the root, and then D is the second note, E is the third note, F is the fourth, G is the fifth, A is the sixth, B is the seventh, and C is the octave or the eighth. Okay, and then if we go up to the next octave, D would be the 9, E would be the 10, F would be the 11, G would be the 12, and then A is the 13. Okay, so we extend the scale. Instead of just going, you know, when we hit the octave, when we get to a middle C, and then we go to the next note D with the octave key, instead of just calling it the second again, well, we're not thinking about it that way, because we're thinking about the D as the 9 now, because we're thinking about it in relation to the low C, the root. That interval is a ninth. Okay, so. So a 9 chord is essentially a dominant 7 with a 9th on top. Okay, now a 13th chord is a dominant 7 with a 9, the 11th, and the 13th on top. That's what it is. So we have the root, and then we have the third, and then we have the fifth, and then we have the flat 7, that's a B flat. Then we have the 9, that was D with the octave key. Then we have the 11th, which is F. And then we have the 13th, which is A with the octave key. Okay, so when we run these, we go on the root, third, 5, flat 7, 9, 11, 13, and then we go back down, 11, then down to 9, and then back to flat 7, and then the 5th, and then the 3rd, and then the root. Okay, and once again we're going to practice these in the cycle of fourths, not chromatically. Okay, we're not going to go from a C13 chord and then a C sharp 13 chord and then a D 13 chord. We don't want to do that. We want to go C 13th and then F 13th, C, D, E, F up a fourth, and then B flat 13th, F, G, A, B flat. Okay, 4 notes up, that's a B flat 13th, and then E flat 13th, and so on and so forth. Okay, in this way we train our ears to hear in the cycle of fourths, and we train our fingers. We give our fingers actually a chance to develop the technique they're going to need to create melodies going through the cycle of fourths, which is what we're going to be doing most of the time when we're improvising. Okay, so here it is. I'm gonna run through this, and you can follow along with the PDF. Please be sure to download the PDF where I've illustrated the 13th chords and how to run them. Okay, so. B flat 13. Now E flat 13. 13. Now F sharp 13. Now B13. Now E13. Now A13. Now D13. And now G13. Okay, and now that would put us right back into C13. Okay, we've gone through the entire cycle, and you know, we end right where we began. So again, please stay on these chords until your fingers know them. Okay, it doesn't matter if you understand it in your head. Your fingers need to be able to play them just like I just played it. One has to go into the next. Continuity is very important. You know, the music's continually going, it doesn't stop. So what we're doing with this practicing is we're training ourselves to continue no matter what. The time, the music, the flow, it's always moving, and if you stop, you finish, it's over. Okay, that's the real mistake, when you kind of like stop, when you drop out. Okay, you have to keep in there. Okay, so you know, you can't take a coffee break between chords. Okay, you can't go outside and smoke a cigarette after the C chord and then come back in and do the F13. Okay, is you play the C chord, and then you rest 2 beats, and then you're right into the F chord, and then you rest 2 beats and you're right into the B flat chord, and so you go through the entire cycle without stopping. And you can play it as slow as you need to. But it's the continuity that's important, and we're memorizing all of these chords. They must be memorized. Okay, it's not enough to follow along, you know, with the PDF, you know, with the written music. That's only there for the beginning. Okay, you have to memorize all of the chords. It's very, very important, because when we're improvising, there's no time to think about anything. Okay, and in the process of memorizing, we're training our ears to hear the quality of the chord itself, to hear the way a 13th chord sounds, the way a 9th chord sounds, the way a 7th chord sounds, the way a diminished chord sounds. Okay, we're training our ear to hear the chord qualities, but we're also training our ear to hear the cycle going in fourths, so we can anticipate. Your ear can actually hear the next note or the next chord before it happens. Okay, and again, we're training our fingers to be able to execute, to develop the technique it needs to execute the cycle. Okay, to move through the cycle of fourths, which is what we're going to be doing most of the time when we improvise. All right, so you know, please visit my website, skypelessons.galaxymusic.com, and where you can download the PDF. There's a link at the end of this video that will take you right there. And that'll be it for today. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.